you're talking about empathy and your kids are empathetic and they would never laugh at a joke about the Holocaust and you're a misogynist.
What?
You're a simp yourself. You're totally henpecked. That's the problem.
This picture is so damn insane, ma'am. You're married. What is your leg doing on Lenny Kravitz's areola, all right? My man Lenny over here don't give a shit, baby.
So basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
We need to get extraordinarily active within this conversation, for the content gods have spoketh yet again, for they hath delivered us a content Merry Christmas gem of the highest cuckold order. Piers Morgan is out here absolutely wilding, as it's been discovered that he is essentially Akaash Singh 2.0. Now, a couple of days ago, he just did a viral interview with Nick Fuentes. They hit on a variety of topics, but Piers began to press Nick in regards to his thoughts in regards to women, his sexuality, his thoughts on marriage, and he said a lot. He inferred a lot. What I'm going to do with this conversation is I'm going to go over a little snippet of his back and forth with Nick Fuentes so we can understand how it is that we got here, because after that conversation, Nick's community, who is referred to as the Groypers, they went on the internet, deep within it, and they found Piers Morgan's wife just outright disrespecting him time after time after time again. So we're going to go over a little bit of that here in the beginning. I found a lot more, and it's a lot of things that people are currently not talking about as well. But you guys already know I got a master in web economics, so your boy did some digging, and it's not looking good out here for your boy Piers Morgan. We have to get exceptionally active on this situation, especially because so many modern men today are rationalizing marriage, but it seems that we are chastised by men that are in weird homes where they are weak, where they are pathetic, where they are ruled by their domineering woman. And it's just so crazy for this to be happening again. Nevertheless, let's dive deep into the topic. First, let's go over some of the posts from his disrespectful wife. You'll see here, ex-users dig up old tweets of Piers Morgan's wife emasculating him. So here goes one of the first ones, and this is his wife's name, Celia Warden. All right, she is a public figure as well. You'll see that blue check mark. I believe she's also a journalist, sort of like her husband. Nevertheless, when the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Hashtag you missed the spot. Everyday sexism, not an object, but I want to be. Speedo, Hollywood Life, Hawaiian Tropic. Obviously, this is not Piers Morgan. Lord knows who this man is, but just saying anybody is in front of your wife's smartphone wearing a Speedo as she flirts with him on her public Instagram. Let's move on. So this one right here, I don't know if this is actually a book, but it says Why We All Need a Boyfriend, a Best Boyfriend by Celia Warden. I think this is actually just some image that was created in order to troll Piers. But wait, it gets worse. Looks like it's from her story posted an hour ago. One thing led to another, it says, and whoops, in bed with Rupert. Another thing to note here is similar to Akaash, Piers Morgan's wife is 10 years, at least 10 years younger than him. It is wild to me that 50-year-old women, but it makes more sense when you realize that their feminist girl bosses are out here making jokes like this while in a marriage. But wait, it gets worse. My husband, Piers, won't let me have male friends because he's convinced that they just want to have S with me. And we're going to go over this male friends article, as well as she actually joined Ashley Madison, right? That website that provides a space for people who are married to cheat on their spouses. Yeah, that Ashley Madison. We'll go over that as well here in a few. Let's see what else is in here. Celia Warden's Instagram account, it says, if anyone's distracting enough to make you slice off your own head, it's Mr. Lowe. Don't rush home, Piers. The gut punch. She's in 2 marriages at least. One with Piers and one with the streets. Let's move on. Oh, is that not Lenny Kravitz? No, Lenny got her. Reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to a sunny Saturday in Paris, he'd taken a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. What is this?
Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
Is she insinuating that she's upset that Lenny was abstinent because she wanted Mr. Kravitz to rock her world? She says shame, but really the shame only goes one way, and for that,
shame. Shame.
this woman,
Shame. Shame.
this picture is so damn insane, ma'am. You're married. What is your leg doing on Lenny Kravitz's areola, all right? My man Lenny over here don't give a shit, baby. There's always got to be a certain decorum or a certain show of respect. Once you're married, I mean, shit, have respect for yourself even if you were single. Why would you want this to be a part of your digital footprint or your profile? Either or. My man Lenny got the eye of the tiger as if he's about to go deep inside them damn cheeks right after that photo was taken. Now, there could be two schools of thought. Either Piers Morgan legitimately likes to watch his wife be with other men, or he doesn't like this, as what was denoted in that previous picture about her having male friends, because, you know, a man is going to have standards and requirements, and with her male friends, this is how she hugs up with them. But of course, to these feminist girl bosses, these independent queens, what do you mean I can't have male friends? What are you, insecure? Real men would let me have a male friend that I can do these things with, right? Like, and then begins the manipulation, or them creating an environment where this shit should be tolerated. And after a while, in order for these men to be half peaceful within their marriage, they just succumb to their wife's irrationality. Let's see if there's anything else here. Wanted pool boy, no experience needed. Oh, okay. Damn. The damage has been unequivocally done. And trust me, there's more. We're going to go over the Nick Fuentes interview, which I think makes his experience with his wife just that much more insane. But you'll see some of the comments just on this right here, RIP. Piers Morgan gives her everything, and she even lets another man touch her like that. Dude, I don't like the guy, but I now feel sorry for him. Again, some of the sentiments in the Akaash Singh situation, just be feeling sorry for him. She's definitely sleeping around. Proof that women are men's downfall for real. Laughing emojis. I had no clue about this. This is wild. This is a common Piers L. He is a simp. All right. In order to further solidify these comments, let's go back to that Nick Fuentes interview to see some of his thoughts.
So you're basically anti-marriage, really. You've talked about this. You've talked about.
Are we done talking about why genocide?
Well, no,
and
I'm coming to the same part, because you seem very resistant to the idea of marriage. You've never got married. You've talked very scathingly about henpecked husbands. Just take a look.
That's true.
Guys get to a certain age and they're like, you know what? Women suck. Like, they're talking too much. They're not hot anymore. Like, you're fat, you're chubby, you're not as hot as you think you are. You talk too much, you're a bitch.
So we'll obviously get to the brazen misogyny part of that a little later, but okay. I'm just curious. on the one hand, there's this terrible genocide going on of white people. On the other hand, you want people effectively to stop going near women because they all turn out to be so ghastly.
What?
So they shouldn't presumably procreate. So how does that work? I mean, aren't you, with your rhetoric, actively encouraging men not to associate with these ghastly women, therefore not have any more children? Therefore, you are contributing, Nick Fuentes, to the diminishing white population. I'm confused.
Whoever is the producer over there at Piers Morgan's show that thought it would be a good idea to combat Nick's points right there, like his observations with what Piers, like the hula hoops that that Piers just jumped through in order to extrapolate that point from his observations, should absolutely be fired. And if this wasn't a producer and this was you, Piers, you set up a tomahawk alley-oop to this young man to combat all of the things that you just jumped through in order to get to that conclusion. This is absurd. That's an absurd conclusion.
I tell my followers to get married all the time. I tell them that it's best for everybody to get married. And I think that's the only way that you can have sex. I think that's the only licit way as a Catholic, as you know, to have sex is within marriage.
Why don't you get married?
I'll get married later. It's been difficult for me because people are shooting at me at my house.
That's
I don't
fair.
know that I don't want to have kids and a wife. You know, my wife would be screaming about that. Me, you know, I have to be able to take risks and be able to say these things. It's difficult to bring a family into a life that's like that. But for my followers, I tell them to get married. But what's happening with women?
You literally just told your followers, well, hang on, in that clip, you literally told followers, women, they get old, they get fat, they get ugly, they get very annoying. So where's the incentive to get married to women? There isn't one.
Listen, it's an observation that these things happen. I mean, shit, a lot of this shit actually happens to men, but that wasn't his observation at the time. You cannot then conclude that he's telling men not to get married. That's not what he's saying. This is not a real argument. This just seems like lazy journalism.
You're actively telling them the opposite.
You're extrapolating a lot. We can complain.
Just quoting you back yourself again.
No, but you're extrapolating and saying, well, you say women are annoying, so therefore, what's the incentive?
Logically,
we have to do it in spite of the fact that they are annoying. We have to do it in spite of the fact that they talk too much. We can get them to lose weight. We can put them on peptides. We can get them to the promised land, but it's going to be
Do you think this view of women may be why none of them want to go near you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you should see my DMs. It is quite the opposite. They're called the Groy-bets, and I'm actually batting them away. Granted, not all of them are attractive. Some of them are attractive.
Are you actually? Look, just to clear up one of the many theories about you, I've no idea what the answer is, and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No, but I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah. Absolutely.
So basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
Okay.
That's the thing, though. You boomers, it's always
think you're an expert
get laid,
in women,
free love.
given you've never got laid?
Wow.
Yeah, we are going back to the Stone Age. You're absolutely right. This, you know, you're talking about empathy, and your kids are empathetic, and they would never laugh at a joke about the Holocaust, and you're a misogynist.
What?
You're a simp yourself. You're totally henpecked. That's the problem.
Now, there's a bunch of things that are weird within this conversation. First off, I believe they're both Catholic. And within Catholicism, don't they push sex after marriage? So according to religious doctrine, Nick Fuentes' lifestyle is more in accords. Now, colloquially, I don't personally trust a 30-year-old man that hasn't been inside the deep, sweet, watery walls of a lovely young lady. I think it's a bit weird. I think it's a bit autistic in modern times today, but, you know, that's his lifestyle. Who am I to judge? But I can also understand him not wanting to be involved with a woman, because then they can utilize that as ammo against him. But what Piers is doing is going on kind of this like incel, emotional kind of rampage, I guess, sort of suggesting, well, how can you have these observations of women if you've never been with one? Which is fair. I just think that he jumped through too many hoops in order to get there. Now, Nick Fuentes used the terminology that I actually had to look up towards the end there. And did you notice it? He said henpecked. Here we go, henpecked. continually criticized and given orders by one's wife or female partner, typically used of a man. Used in a sentence, his father, a henpecked husband, is petrified to raise his voice. And after looking at the online content of Piers Morgan's wife, this is an accurate statement. Now, the first stop on our research tour, of course, I had to go to Piers Morgan's wife's Instagram. Journalist at The Telegraph and author. And you can tell she's already feeling the brunt of this recent news, because if you look at her first 3 posts, you cannot write any comments on them. And immediately I looked at this one, and she's reading a book with a young man that says huge penis on the cover. And this is going to be a story theme throughout her Instagram profile. This soft disrespect, or this adverse sexuality that she continuously represents in spite of her husband. So let's keep on traveling down the page. And so I guess this was a real post. Is actually on her Instagram. This is some truly weird shit. Why we all need a best boyfriend, as this stranger is behind her, hugging the hell out of her while profusely smiling, and she photoshopped a terrible picture of her husband with his lips. Is this a British thing? All my British lads, please step to the front of the gymnasium. Let's all chat. All right. She writes, male friends, they're good company. Don't judge and don't bitch, you insecure piece of shit. Every woman should have one. Typos, you journalist, says Celia Warden, though husband Piers Morgan doesn't agree. Quote, like good female friends, a male friend will know exactly how to take your martinis, right, Celia? That you like a booth in a restaurant but prefer to sit in a bar, and that you shouldn't bother watching the latest water cooler TV drop. What is this Sex in the City shit? This is what it's meant by henpecked. Yes, as a married man, it is okay to not be okay with this type of behavior. It is amazing to me that he can sit on his throne of being married and chastise somebody for not being married due to whatever's going on in his life, and as well as an observation of men rationalizing the choice of becoming married. And many men rationalize it because they see successful men end up looking like this. All right, let's see what else that we got. Oh, here we go. Piers over here looking like the Monopoly man. All he is missing is a monocle. Let's look at the comments. Not cool AF. Like, oh, I could tell you what a cuck means. I don't know what that is from. You stop cheating. As a cuck, I'm so jealous. Such a goddess. Now, in this article dated June 14th, 2019, Piers Morgan's wife, how Celia Warden admitted to being on Ashley Madison, the cheating website. Piers Morgan married his second wife, Celia Warden, in a small church ceremony in Oxfordshire 9 years ago this month. The couple has since had a daughter who is now age 7, so I guess the daughter would be like 15, 16 at this point. While the nation regularly gets to hear Piers's forthright views being aired on Good Morning Britain, Celia is no wallflower herself. The former gossip columnist and critic, at 43 at the time, previously revered, I wear the trousers in their relationship. And Celia shocked the world 4 years ago when she admitted to being a member of Ashley Madison, a dating website for married people seeking an affair. The eye-watering admission made freely by Celia, made during a segment of The Lorraine Show in August 2015. The broadcaster was reviewing the papers with guest presenter Gabby Roslin and began discussing Ashley Madison hack involving thousands of people's data. At the time, hackers were threatened to reveal the names of Ashley Madison customers unless the website was taken down. She revealed that she was in fact a member of the extramarital hookup site and had been for several years.
She belongs to the streets.
But she says that this was purely professional. The married mom said that she had signed up years prior in order to conduct some research and to the company's founder, Noel Bitterman. Celia said she was then asked if she might try the website firsthand, which she did by sending some tawdry messages to men. Okay, yeah, so it went beyond professional. And here goes a photo of them together.
Hackers have said we're going to release all the details, the bank details, the passwords and the names of 37,000 people who are on the site.
37,000 people are on there?
Yes, and a huge amount of those are in Britain. And these have now, it's all out there as of this morning. So I'm going to be in trouble for one thing. But
are you on there?
I actually probably will be, because here's the funny thing. When they first started, Ashley Madison, I was sent to interview the owner of it, or the runner of it. And we decided that it would be a good idea for me to go on there.
Was this a joint discussion with your damn husband, or did you just decide? Now, that Ashley Madison piece was like 5 or so years ago. She said that she was on it for a couple of years. Combine that with this article that Celia Warden wrote little over 3 years ago. Title of this particular article, this is posted to The Guardian. I love you, but I don't want to see you for the next 6 weeks. The case for the marriage sabbatical. The journalist Celia Walden recently wrote about taking a 6-week marriage sabbatical, as in 6 weeks away from my husband and the marriage. In a post-COVID context, probably many couples who could do with a breather. But 6 weeks seems a little extreme. Where would you go for the whole 6 weeks? I don't know, Celia, where would you go? Would you have to stay in a hotel? But once you know she is married to Piers Morgan, the real mystery is why take a sabbatical at all when you could be sending out CVs. It is a particularly long read, and I refuse to go through it. I just absolutely refuse. I skimmed it, and it's just all of this drivel, all of this nonsense. But it's written in the tone of a Sex and the City cosmopolitan producer. You've heard her say before that she wears the pants, i.e. he's henpecked. This sabbatical is something that she instituted. It was her choice. She refuses to not let men within her life touch her, even though she acknowledges that Piers doesn't like it, right? And then they get up on these female-centered blogs and they write about their feelings and how the patriarchy and how, right? It is so absurd to me that this currently exists within his life. And it's like, hey, listen, if you want to question someone else's relationship, your house better be in damn order. But there is absolutely no order here, or rather, there is no mail order here. There's only her way or the damn highway. And I went deeper into the search and I found this article, Jelly Shots, Latex, and Laughter, My Night with Hugh Hefner, by the one and only Celia Walden. She's for the streets, all right? She's for the gravel. She's for the gutter. She's for the granite. She's for the boulevard. She's for the cobblestone. She's for the beaten path. She's for the Earth's core, baby. She's for the hemisphere. She's for the equator, all right? You leave these where they belong. You've been hanging out with Hugh Hef, baby. Oh, she's for the universe, the omniverse, and the multiverse. You heard? Get this chick off of my damn screen. Anyway, I think I'm done with the video as it stands here today. I can't believe that this is happening, guys. Make sure that you lock to the channel. I'm going to follow this as much as what I can. Chances are either Piers is going to address this in some way, or more things are going to come out and more things will be uncovered. Similar to the Akaash Singh situation, many will not have sympathy for Piers Morgan because of, his public persona and his many statements in the past. Whether you agree or not agree with him, he can be very judgmental when he's up on the podium. And it's also good for content because it continues to remind men of how to choose correctly. And I find it also interesting of whether or not it's going to be this situation and as well as the Akaash Singh situation. Notice how the women, right? And I'm not talking about like the MTRs or the women that actually ride for and respect men because they're vocal, right? But notice how the other side of the internet is quiet as a church mouse, right? They refuse to acknowledge this as a result. But the funny shit is that behavior like this proves why this content is absolutely necessary. They don't want you to see this. They don't want you to know that through their bad behavior, this is the way that they will act. They don't want you to understand that their belief in women's liberation and that there's currently a patriarchy and he's not a real man because he's insecure, right? Like he's a narcissist because he doesn't allow me to be with all of my male friends as goddamn she's hugged up with Lenny Kravitz about to crack. That shit is absolutely wild. That's why they don't talk about this, because they don't want to lose power that is derived from that type of behavior. But anyway, I want to hear what you guys think down up in the comment box down below. Shout out to Aura for continuing to sponsor this channel, to sponsor this video. Guys, click my link down below. 2 free weeks to at least see if your private information has been exposed. It is who I currently use to ensure that my private information is not out there in the internet, right? So use my link, continue to support the channel. Peace. I love you guys, and I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.